Hey everyone, it's that time of year again. Merry Christmas. We're in 2025. I can't believe we're getting ready to go into 2026, which will be my sixth year, believe it or not, with this channel. I can't thank you enough for this. It's been quite a ride. Over the years, I have done various Christmas tutorials on the guitar. I'm going to put them all together in several compilations. That way, you don't have to go looking for them, and they'll be kind of fresh in your, in terms of browsing and searching. So. This will be the first video of, maybe one, two, or three of them. Depends how I break it down. But again, thank you for everything as far as the support over the years. I really do appreciate it. Even got my Christmas stocking ready to go. I've had this since I've been probably, almost day one, basically, for me. My mom made it, and you can see it's been chewed up a little bit. That was done by my dog back in the day, and her name was Dasher, believe it or not. She was born December 18th, which obviously just a week before Christmas. She was a great dog. Always think about her during this time of year. She lived to be about 17 or 18 years old. So good old Dasher. So I'll never forget that because of this. But again, thank you again. Enjoy the videos, and we'll see you soon. Get into this one real simple. For the most part, a lot of power chords. The chords, you're going to have some chords ringing out, but we'll go over that. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing through the Spark 40, and I just kind of pulled up a random, not that there's a whole lot of them, but there's just a few of them as far as the random, Ramones patches I'm using. So I'm using this one, found it was pretty good. So the way the song starts off is, what I'm going to do is on the PRS, I'm going to just split the coil and just kind of give you a little clean if I can do it. Okay, so it starts off on a C, Merry Christmas, and then it goes to an F. And those chords are the base of the whole song. The C, the F, and the G. Okay, so when the song kicks in at that point, it's all, heavy. So what I'm doing here is I'm sliding up from and the power chords that I play, I find it easier for me. You can play, the root, the 1-5-1s if you want to. What I tend to do is I just kind of play the 1, the 5, and that's it. And I use my index and my pinky, because I just feel like I have a whole lot more control doing it instead of. I have more control just doing it this way, okay? Because there's some slides. So it starts off on the B power chord on the 7th fret here, and we're just sliding up one position, half step to the C, okay? 4 times. So we're going from B to C. And then the progression that goes from there is going to be your B, your C to the F. So all we're doing is going from here, just down a set of strings to the 5th string as your root on the 8th fret to the 10th fret on the same string. So it's these chords. So the intro again. Okay, hopefully it sounds familiar to you. So again, the intro. We're going to do 4 times, and then it starts off. Merry Christmas, and then the verse kind of kicks in. So the rhythm pattern there is pretty straightforward. It's going to be your C to the F to the G. So you're holding, you're holding the C longer. It's like, and the other 2 chords are going to be half as long, so it gives you your 4 count. So 3 times. The 4th time, you're going to give a bit of a variation. You're going to go. So instead of just kind of going through that we did before, C. So C, F, C, G. That's really it. It's the only difference. So hopefully you can kind of see my fingers better. And the pattern is going to continue. And they're going to get to the chorus, which really, I got to be honest, these chords, which aren't really anything special when you look at them by themselves, but the way they put them together for this song, I think just kind of, the way it flows is just very cool in my opinion. It's just me. You're going to go F, F minor, to a C, to a C7. So what we're doing here is, actually, if I can play it right. So it's a C chord, and then we're going to just take our pinky, and we're going to go on to the 3rd fret of the G string. Okay. Okay, that's how you play the first part of the chorus. F, F minor, C, to that C7. Repeat it, F. Okay, and then from there we're going into a D. Let me play that for you. So whatever works for you, I kind of did a D and a G here. I would tend to think that the way, and I haven't really seen anything live as far as how they do it, haven't really looked, but knowing that it's the Ramones, it's all power chords, I got to think when they're coming out of that F, so just the D on the 5th, root on the 5th, and then we're going to go to the G on the root of the 5th. So 5th fret, 10th fret, right back to the Snowball fatten, so exciting. And then the outro just kind of varies a little bit, not by much, but you can kind of hear a little bit of a difference in the strumming. So. So those are your chords, basically. Pretty straightforward, fun one to play. It just kind of get you going. So it's the Ramones, so I don't think there's anything you have to worry about playing it too fast because it's meant to be fast. And the chorus, again, I think it's a really cool sounding chorus. The F, F minor, C, C7, again. There you go. Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight by the Ramones. Pretty much there it is. Ramones tune, standard, what you expect as far as some bar chords, power chords, and, it's a 2.5, 3 minute song, if that. So enjoy. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Hey, what's going on? 6-string friends out there. Merry Christmas. One more, I think, here for Christmas of 2022. And I've been sitting on this one for probably 2 years now. Just haven't had a chance to really get to it, do it. Every excuse in the book, because this falls under the category of the hardest easy song I've ever done or the easiest hard song I've ever done. So I believe I'm going to play this as close as I can to how it sounds on the record, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Old City Bar. So this should sound pretty like it's up to the album, but when I watch it live, I have a feeling that they're tuning the acoustic guitar down an entire step and then playing some open, regular chords up here, which if there wasn't a capo. But this is how I do it, and if it works for you, great. If not, I know I'll hear about it, but this is how we're going to do it. The main chords are a G. It's a D with the F sharp in the bass, but if you want to just kind of do the walk down like that, there's an E minor 7, I should say. And I play the E minor 7 like this. And then there's going to be just kind of a variation of that, or just a straight E minor. You've got your C shape, and again, these are shapes, not the sounds, but the shapes, because we're going to be in a different key based on these shapes here. So C, walk it down to that B in the root of a C almost, an A minor, a D, like we mentioned earlier, straight D. We'll kind of go through it, and that's the majority of the song. There are probably 3 or 4 sections or themes to the song that we'll go over bit by bit. I mean, I would think this is 80-90% there. From what I could hear, I think it lends itself well to the acoustic guitar. And it kind of kicks off like this. And my timing might be off. I couldn't quite get if this was a 3-4 or a 4-4. But listen to it. I think it's actually 4. But it does have kind of like that waltz vibe to it. That's probably 50% of your song right there, okay? So it's going to be G shape. I'm going to call these out just by their shapes. G. I'm walking the bass to F sharp. I go into the E minor 7th. And then I do another variation of an E. It could be straight E minor, but I just make it a little bit different. So it's really E minor for 2 counts if you want to just look at it that way. A C. I walk it to a B. Kind of holding that same, and you'll see that I keep my pinky right there on that high E string. It just kind of lends itself to give it a little bit of a medley. So it's the C, walk it down to that B in the bass, A minor. So it's either you can play the A minor or I just open it up sometimes to play the bass string, and that's it. That A string back to a D. So in an old city bar. All right, so if you can get that down, that's your intro passage. You're going to play that once, no vocals, and we're going to play that 3 more times as the vocals are going through, okay? So a total of 4 times. When you get to the 5th time, you're going to see a variation of what we just did. It's going to still be the G. We're going to go right to the A minor for 2 counts, to the D. 2 counts. All right, so let's just kind of play that part of it together. All right, you'll play that once. I think my cable's a little off here. I hear a little bit of a buzz. That sounds better. So you'll have your 1 variation. I would say listen to the tune, and quite honestly, it's so close that if you just kind of played that first passage we just did throughout, you probably would be okay. All right. So we're going to go back to that first intro that we did. No vocals. And then second verse. Right? Same type of pattern. We do it once without the vocals, 3 with the vocals. We're going to come into another variation, but instead of going to that A minor for 2 counts, to the D for 2 counts, we go to the C for 2 counts, to the D for 2 counts. I'm all over the place. This was a tough one to put together, but this is how I think the progression goes, okay? And at the very end, I'll try to tie it together, so stay tuned, all right? So we go from the... Instead of the A minor for 2 counts, C for 2 counts. we're going to go into the vocal part of it. And the snow's falling, right? Snow's falling, is coming. One time. We're going to start it again a second time, but a variation that we just did. G. Right? So, real simple, but it's just kind of picking and choosing what's coming in and what's coming out. I'm telling you, if you just kind of play like what I told you earlier, you can get away with it. Probably just those 4 chords. So basically you've got intro, verse. I'm not going to call it a chorus, but you know, you're kind of like a break. You go into verse number 2. That pre-chorus again, the snow's falling, if you want to call it the chorus, right? And then there's a walk down, where it's just a C to a B bass to that A minor again. And then that 4th note, I leave it up to you because I can play it 2 different ways. But so it's a C, and just 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B note, or B, bass. Open. You can go to A minor if you want. I just play the open. I'm just walking that bass line. And if you want, you can actually do a G for that 4th one there. So it's either, you're good right there. So it could be, and if you want to just strum it. All right. So we can do that. That works, quite well. And I think you're actually going to play that walk down piece twice without the vocals, 3 times with the vocals, and then there's going to be another change coming into that one. So that change, there will be a bit of a bridge. All right, so it's a D to a C to a G. Oops. And if I played it right, it'd probably be better. Let's try that again. D for 2 counts, C, then G. And then it's just going to be quick C to G progression 6 times. After that 6th time, it'll be C to D. Hold that D. Back to the original pattern. Okay, play it once. We go to this one. C. Back to what we've done already. All right. I told you I was going to butcher this one, but it is, the chords are so simple, but the arrangement is just, and I guess that's why it makes it such a great tune, honestly. So everything is there for you to play this. Break it down, I'll kind of break it down again as far as the main themes real quick. So, the main one, G, F sharp, E minor for 2 counts, C to the B, A minor to the D. Okay, that's your main one. You can get away with that for about 80% of the song. Couple variations. We already did this. A minor for 2, D for 2. That's another way. The other variation starts off the same way. the C for 2. All right, the walk down piece of it. All right, we got that one. We have this. That's just D for 2 counts, C to the G. Okay, and then just quickly C to G. And then we're going to go C to D. Everyone, thank you for another great year. Much appreciated. See you soon. Season, so we're gonna do a Christmas tune for you. Wouldn't go as far as to call it a classic, but it's certainly one that you hear every year. As far as, again, not traditional, but you hear it all the time on the radio. So this one is Last Christmas by Wham. Actually a pretty simple tune, and we can, break it down a couple different ways. We're using 4 chord shapes. C, A minor, we're using a D minor, and we're using we can go with a straight G, but I believe there's kind of a different type of G that's technically in there, but we're gonna, or I should say shape, but not the, anyway. So the reason I'm saying shapes is because I've got the capo on the 2nd fret. I haven't played this in a while, but I believe this was close to the original key on the song itself. I feel like though that it's not quite right. It's kind of like some of those older tunes from, like, again, this was from the 80s where something might have happened to the tape by the time it got to the album or the CD, so it's just kind of off a little bit, but this should be pretty close. But again, you can play it anywhere you want, depending on your range, your vocal range. But anyway, I think capo on the 2nd fret, kind of where this probably lends itself best if you want to play to the record. So, but again, I'm going to call these out by the shapes, not the actual key that we're in or anything, okay? So we got a C, A minor, D, and we're going to go with the G for now, okay? And I'll explain to you what we're going to do later with that. And again, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. I actually have some other videos from last year if you haven't checked out yet. Tom Petty, The Waitresses, a few others. So check it out, and hopefully you can learn those as well for the season. So here's how the strumming pattern is going to go for this. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up. Right? So it's down, down, up. Okay. It. I mean, keeping it simple, just kind of keep your arm moving, kind of like a pendulum almost. Just all right. So let's get into the chord shapes now. We said a C was the first chord, right? But what we're gonna do is, as soon as we start, I don't know if you can hear that, man. That radiator was cranking. Woo. Okay. So if you hear whistling, apologize. Man, that is loud. Woo. Anyway, at least I know the heat works. So we're going to go with a C, and we're going to have our pinky on the 3rd fret relative to the capo on the 2nd string. So this is your C, but when we add that pinky, okay, so it's, okay. See what we're doing there? We're kind of starting with the pinky in that position, and then up. kind of just going on and off with the pinky. Same thing with the A minor shape. Okay, we're going to hold the A minor shape, and that pinky is just going to go in the exact same spot we had it for the C shape. Okay, you can start with the pinky on the string first. So here's what we have. We're going to go to that D minor shape. Now, D minor, but now instead of being on the second string, we're going to be on the first string. Still on the 3rd fret though. Right? So here's what we have. Now, you can play the straight G if you want. And by the way, if this, kind of adding the finger on and off is difficult, just play the chords. Just a straight chord. And then we're going to end it on the G. Get away just playing those chords like that, especially if somebody's singing, because you're not going to really need that melody line all that much if somebody's singing. So you can either play the straight G, or what I've kind of done is and I don't think it's a full chord, I'm playing index finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then I'm let me see how I do. Yeah, then I go with my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string right there. So, okay, so it's, again, if you're playing a full G, that's what you can do, but I would leave these 2 fingers anchored here, bring your ring finger up to 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then I believe if you want to kind of get that melody line in there, you're going to use your pinky for the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. It's kind of a tough move, so if you want to kind of just play that G straight, or you want to just kind of play the first top, those bottom 3 strings. When I say bottom, I talk in terms of tone. Right? So first chord. The 3rd. Okay, now we go to the 3rd chord. If you want to play straight G, again, G shape, or just kind of do what I did, where it's 3, 2, 3, and then you can add your pinky to that 2nd string of the 3rd fret. And there's your song, and that repeats the entire time. There's no other changes that I can remember. It's pretty straightforward. Sometimes I kind of just play the strumming pattern, just alternate a little bit, just change it up. But for the most part, the strumming pattern is right into that G. And that's your song. So hopefully that helped you out there. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I got some stuff going on Instagram as well. You can check me out there. So enjoy. All right. Merry Christmas.